everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game. We've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Osweiler's Texans. With that, let's get on out to Houston. We're standing by as our commentary team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Time for the offensive starters now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a guy to watch out wide, Sammy Coates.
A slow start in his rookie season, only caught one pass in 2015. They're expecting much bigger things from him, trying to help out that offense. If he can get open, you know his quarterback will find him.
Over the middle here to Brown. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that?
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Here we go on fourth down with Roethlisberger. He finds Coates complete. It's a pickup of 17 there. And on fourth and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And on your screen, the defensive starters for the Houston Texans. One thing's for sure. Throughout the season, but really in the playoffs, Clowney and Merciless, boy, did they come on. You get J.J. Watt back next year, a good defense becomes even better.
You're exactly right about that. This was a defense that did not get the credit it deserved all year long. Finished the season #1 in total defense in the NFL. And as you mentioned, that's without J.J. Watt. Just think, when they get him back and put everyone else to use again, look out. Houston Texans will be stout again on the defensive side of the ball.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. On third down, Roethlisberger throwing the slant pattern here complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Joseph. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
At after the interception. Here's Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Fedorowicz. 43 yards, and the Texans have taken the early lead. On now for the extra point. Play clock winding down. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. Brown, the lone receiver, left. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quentin Demps. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The play clock's running down. So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back him up 5 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
On second down, here's Osweiler. And this is incomplete. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now it's Osweiler. And finding Fedorowicz. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that. And having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Oh, man. For him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Again, Osweiler. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On third down, Osweiler trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers.
And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Jonathan Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now out comes Houston. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. After the interception, here's Osweiler. Finding time. He sets to fire deep. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, I think that's the way they'll go.
Second and 10, it's Osweiler again. His throw incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it's third down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. Osweiler. And now another one thrown incomplete. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Shane Leckler now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's Shane Leckler now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this will be down just inside the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First 2 games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste. Gives him fuel for the next season, though, because remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season and heading into the playoffs. Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
Second down, here's Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jonathan Joseph. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And speaking of Lamar Miller, up over 1,000 yards this season for the Houston Texans, 5 touchdowns as well. And the second time in his 5-year career, he topped the 1,000 mark.
And he did it missing 2 games due to injury, so just think of what the numbers could have been. But looking forward, he's such a versatile player. I would not be surprised if Bill O'Brien adds a little more to his plate in 2017 and throws the ball a little bit more to him out of the backfield. Get him into space and let him create bigger plays that way as well.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing, Osweiler. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So on 4th down, the Texans will call on their field goal unit, and on comes Nick Novak. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. They go back to the air here after the INT. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And this one caught by Coates. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And he'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, after that pickup of a first down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Sammy Coates, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. And that is one, no doubt, that may come back to haunt them because the PAT tied it. They didn't need to go for 2.
I keep searching for an explanation. I know it's quick right here. I think I can search for the next year and not come up with anything that absolutely works. Kick the point, man. Kick the point. I don't get it.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2nd down now after the incompletion.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They come out here in the eye.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller from 17 yards out. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Man open left side is Brown. 10 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. 3 yards remaining here on second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Osweiler on second down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Just a yard on the... bring us to a 4th down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down.
Let's go.
They'll indeed go for it with Osweiler. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And a great spot to start this drive from here. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And it's 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. That is caught. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
Ben to throw again. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And now out comes Houston. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
And that's caught inside the 35. A big hook up there. Osweiler to Hopkins. 46 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes he
trying to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. He tried to get something going there with a little toss behind the line of scrimmage. Unsuccessful.
How about the athleticism of the coverage, though? Being able to dance with him coming out of the backfield. That's not easily done. But not only did he dance, took it, wheeled, and went the other way. Ended up with 6 points for his team.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. Miller, the lone setback. Osweiler, and that is incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and it's third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Roethlisberger looking to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for two. So they elect to pass there on the two-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And now out comes Houston. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 75 yards. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Roethlisberger, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whitney Merciless in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. C.J. Fedorowicz, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans have broken the tie. Novak to tack on the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Back now at the home of Super Bowl 51, NRG Stadium in Houston. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. They come out here in the eye. Now a play for blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
On second down, it's Bell. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now it's Roethlisberger. James has got it. Complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Brown, the lone receiver left. Roethlisberger will throw. And able to find Green. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get him.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A good pickup there at 22.
Antonio Brown, AB, with just one hand to complete that catch. Is there anything he can't do?
He has just continued to impress year after year, hasn't he?
He has never forgotten that he wasn't considered an elite receiver coming out of college. I think every snap he takes it upon himself to prove that he should have been.
And his throw here is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Here's Roethlisberger. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it's caught. It's Brown. Touchdown Steelers. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Bell, but he will not get in. The defense stands tall, and they will hold on to their 1-point lead. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. On the dive, here's the fullback Prosh. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Good solid gain on first down, about what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the
Let's
eye.
go. Green 39.
They'll try and run some clock here with Miller. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Here's Osweiler. And finding Fedorowicz. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Another carry now for the fullback, Jay Brosh. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
A good solid gain there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously, an interesting journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Now let's go.
Osweiler's going to throw it. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football. But a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Throwing, Osweiler looking for the end zone. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.